because like over the phone, it was like a little bit of lag. But when you clapped and I clapped, for some reason, like it just worked.
Cool.
Hey, God damn it! I knew I should have put you in the kennel. All right.
There's the intro.
Whatever. It's too late now. It's too late now.
Initiating hyperspace launch sequence. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm not that interesting. My dog just ran out of the room. He just like booked it like he was late for something.
Was he late for something? Did he have an appointment?
I think he has a 2:30 that he's late for.
Oh, okay.
Not 100% sure.
Oh, he's
he kind of
really
acted
late.
like
He's really late.
Yeah, he's a pretty busy guy.
Gotcha.
Hi everyone. Welcome to the podcast. This is how Daniel told me I should start the episode. Daniel, how are you?
You did great. I'm doing good. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How was your in and out?
Dude. Okay, so for those of you listening to this, what happened was we were recording this literally starting 50 minutes later than planned, and it's all because Christian texted me saying, "Dude, I just got in and out." And he would have been on time still. He like got it and he would have been on time. And I saw that he got in and out, and I said, "Well, now I need in and out." And me getting in and out made me 30 minutes late. And then it was a whole ordeal. But, dude, it hit the friggin' spot, let me tell you.
It always does. So yeah, if you're listening to this thing, you know, that should incentivize you. Go get some In-N-Out.
Go get some In-N-Out.
Enjoy
and
it.
If In-N-Out is listening, sponsor us.
Please.
Please and
And
thank you.
come back and listen to this. Please.
Yep.
What do you get at In-N-Out?
What do I get?
What do you get?
So it depends on how hungry I am. On a normal day,
How hungry were you?
I was like normal amount of hungry. So I got a double with animal style fries and just a pink lemonade. But if I'm like hungrier than normal hungry, I'll get the quad stack animal style with the animal style fries with a Neapolitan shake. That 4x4, that quad stack, dude, it hits different, let me tell you.
That is a lot of calories right there.
Yes, it is. Now, Christian, tell the people about the crimes that you commit when you order it in and out, because it broke my heart when I learned.
I was hoping you wouldn't come to this. I was hoping we could just, you know, I would just ask you what you got and we could just move on, and I would just kind of like sneak around the bush. But here we are.
Here we are.
It's
time to confess, buddy.
What is it that people say when they go to confession?
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Is that how I should start this thing?
I think, I think if you want, I think you need to. I think this is a time to seek forgiveness, Christian.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. But no, seriously, if you guys don't order In-N-Out like this, I don't know. You guys might not listen to the podcast anymore.
If you guys don't order In-N-Out the way that Christian does, then that means you're doing it right. So just...
Man, I'm just really avoiding this question.
I know. Let's go. Let's do it.
So here we go. I get a double, right? And yeah, that's what I get. I get a double and a Diet Coke.
I think you're forgetting to tell the people about a step, Christian.
Oh, yeah. I get the fries well done.
Okay, no, that's actually kind of fire. I'm talking about the other step.
Oh, right. I get my Diet Coke with no ice.
Do you actually? I feel like it's a lie.
Yeah, dude.
Do you actually?
Why would you?
You do no ice?
Yeah, I don't understand why people get ice in their soda. It's like it melts and then you get like watery soda.
Okay, well here's
That's
the thing.
gross.
Here's the thing. I appreciate that you don't get ice, because that means you can take your time with your drink. But for me personally, I don't know. Have you ever seen me drink something? This is a weird question.
No. Yeah. No, I haven't.
I am a thirsty mother fricker, so I will like chug the frick out of anything you put in front of me real fast. So for me, I like ice because that thing's gonna be gone in like 2 minutes anyway. So it just keeps it super chilled while I just down it. But I respect.
Well, that makes sense
if
then.
you know that you're gonna You're going to take your time with it, which is probably how most people should drink things. I don't think it's normal to be like a friggin' pelican and just down all of it. But, you know, if you're going to...
I don't think pelicans drink soda.
I mean, is there any proof?
Dang.
Join us next week on Pelican Conspiracies. Like, if you're going to have some longevity, though, to your drinking experience, then I understand the no ice thing. I do. But that still wasn't what I was talking about, Christian. Tell the people what you do to your burger.
Hold on. Also.
Uh-huh.
Pink lemonade? Lemonade?
What's wrong with pink lemonade?
My little sister gets pink lemonade.
Oh, don't do me like that, Christian. Don't do me
What
like
is
that.
this? We drink Coke
Bro.
or Diet Coke.
Bro, don't bash the pink lemonade. Here's what happened, okay? This is this is not even what this episode's gonna be about, but we're just going there. I used to drink a 2-liter of Dr. Pepper every day. Like, literally.
That's pretty normal.
I would get home from school at 3, and the entire 2-liter, the massive bottle, would be gone by like 8 p.m. I literally peed orange during this time in my life because of how bad it was for me. And so, I came to a time in my life where I realized, wow, I'm disgusting. And I decided to not drink soda except for like special occasions for the sake of being a little bit healthier. And so pink lemonade is me basically saying like, I don't want water, because water, like here's my philosophy about water. If you drink a bottle of water, you're drinking a bottle of your own spit. Like, it's just a bottle of your own mouth. That's what you're drinking. So I was like, I don't really want water, so I'll get something that's like flavored, but like healthier than soda. And so that's what pink lemonade is to me.
Why is pink lemonade healthier than soda?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain whether it's actually true or not, but that's my philosophy in my head.
Is there vitamin C in pink lemonade?
I have no idea. I don't even know
What
what
about
the
high C?
I don't know what the frick vitamin C is. I would assume there's a high amount of vitamin C in high C because I assume that's how they got their name. But you're so avoiding the question right now. Just tell us what you do to your burgers at In-N-Out.
You know what? I'm actually really surprised that like I dragged this out as long as I did.
Yeah, but it's time, buddy.
All right. Here's the grand reveal. So, you know what I do to my French fries. You know what I do to my drink. But here's the kicker. Here's the part that makes it really good. So you get your burger, right? You get your double. You ask for extra napkins, and you just wipe all that disgusting sauce off of it, and you just throw it out the window. Okay, maybe don't throw it out the window because I'm pretty sure that's illegal. But you don't eat that.
So what he's saying,
with extra onions.
to translate, because he said it in a way where some people might miss what he said still. Christian orders his burgers and he doesn't eat them with the spread, which is what makes In-N-Out In-N-Out, in my opinion. And in most Californians' opinions.
If I wanted the sauce, I would just go to Walmart and go buy the Thousand Island sauce and just, go ham with that thing and just spread all over the burger.
It's different. It's so different. I mean, it's not so different, but it is definitely different. But anyway, you heard it here first, folks. Let me let me just tell this story too. I didn't know. Me and Christian would talk about our shared love for In-N-Out like regularly, and I didn't know for the longest time like how different our philosophies on In-N-Out were until we ate In-N-Out at the same time together for the first time, and I saw it happen. And I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed in him, but it's fine. We're still buddies. We're still friends. We let it slide this time. So it's all good. Christian, what are we talking about on this podcast today? Because we're like minutes into this. We haven't talked about it yet. I think so.
Well, I mean, you know what? Going back on that real quick. Yeah, I do remember the look of despair on your face because I believe it was you, me, and Jack and Sadie.
Yep.
At that point, I was like, oh man, these guys, they don't know how to properly eat In-N-Out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, I am sorry I had to break it to you that way, but it is what it is. That's just, that's just how the cookie crumbles, as they say.
It pained me so much, man. It was like It was like my whole life was a lie. Looking back on all the times I was so excited that we were like, oh, Christian's in and out. I'm gonna get in and out. We're in and out buddies. Like I thought we had this shared thing, and then I learned that day like how very wrong I was about how much of it we shared.
People are gonna think I'm a phony.
It was devastating. I will say, I respect you still, and I respect your in and out endeavors still, because like well done on the fries. That's a move. Like that's the move. That shows you know what's up, that you know to ask for that. No ice in the drink. Once again, I think that's a solid move. So you've earned back some stuff there, even if I disagree on getting your burger without the spread.
Well, I'm glad we were able to move past it, and we started this podcast, and then the events that happened afterwards. There was a little bit of discomfort after that, because I always kind of knew that you still live that lifestyle, and you weren't going to convert anytime soon. So I forgive you. And we moved on, and here we are.
And here we are. And today, what are we talking about?
Today, we're not talking about In-N-Out.
Oh,
I mean, we did. So I guess we
did.
kind of are.
So
But we're
a little bit.
transitioning.
Okay.
We're transitioning. So what we're talking about is Bulletproof Umbrella.
BPU. Hopefully that doesn't stand.
BPU?
Hopefully that doesn't stand for something like dirty or something like that. That'd be really
Oh my
awkward.
gosh, dude. Yeah, then people are gonna like use it, and then they're gonna like find out, and then we're just gonna be the joke, because we're like
Dude,
the last ones to get
True
it.
story. I like people use acronyms for like when I say people, I mean like people in the fan base or in the peasantry or whatever you want to call them. These people like they'll use acronyms for a lot of my different songs or albums or projects or whatever, and I'll like adopt them and start using them too when I see them. Like, oh, that's way easier than typing the whole freaking thing. Like, I'm burning everything is IBE, things like that. It's dawned on me that I have not once checked to make sure these acronyms aren't like super filthy.
One of these days, it's gonna come back and bite you.
Dude, for sure. I might have to start checking before I adopt them, because I can you imagine how bad it would be if one of these acronyms was like actually like really freaking filthy, and I was just like
Yeah.
tossing it left and right on my Twitter.
Yeah, and then like you get like your fans just like walking down the street, and they're just like BPU, and then somebody's like, "What in the hell did you just say? What in tarnation?"
The police show up and arrest me. Like, you can't say that in public, sir. This is not acceptable.
So if you get arrested for saying that, we apologize. Or
Yeah.
Daniel apologizes.
I
Actually,
apologize.
he's the one that
Christian
started
does
it.
not. Christian thinks it's funny. Oh man.
I actually titled the Google Drive folder Umbrella A.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you know the song, right?
Yep.
Who's that by? Christina Aguilera?
Oh gosh, is it?
I'm just kidding. It's Rihanna.
Oh my
I was just
gosh,
kidding.
you literally gave me a crisis. I was like, I thought that was real.
Like-
I literally had a moment where I was like, holy frick, is it not by Rihanna?
You know what? It's like that episode of SpongeBob where he forgets his name, and like the little SpongeBobs are going crazy in his mind. They're burning the files, and they're just like losing their mind.
Yes.
That's kind of what it was
Yes.
like. I bet.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly how I felt right there. I was like, I was kind of nervous. I was like, have I lied to myself? Dude, we are unpacking so much stuff that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah,
It's
it's like one of those,
hilarious.
it's like one of those Christmas things where it's like a nutcracker or something like that, and then like you open it, and then there's another toy inside, and then you open it, and there's another one.
Oh,
and you
yeah,
open it,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
another one.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what are
That's
those called?
exactly what this is like. Weird. That's what those are called. Weird and
Oh,
unnecessary.
okay.
I've never understood it.
Right before we get sidetracked again and go down the rabbit hole and try to figure out what that means, or what they're called, I should say.
Yes.
So anyway, Bulletproof Umbrella. Let's start this in on your side,
Okay.
because you are the creator. So of this song, what was going on in your mind when you wrote Bulletproof Umbrella? Because it's a really weird song. I don't even know what the lyrics mean.
I love that you don't know what the lyrics mean. What was going on in my mind? I think so to backtrack to the last episode where we talked about all my projects, Bulletproof Umbrella is part of the Uncaged album / series, whatever you want to call it. It'll be an album eventually. And I wrote that whole album in one night. And I had a lot going in my mind when I wrote the record. There was the COVID
You wrote
thing.
that song back. You wrote that song back when you wrote Inside and Floral Mask?
Yep.
Like it's that much of an OG?
Yeah, same night. And all the songs for this project were all written at the same time. Everything that's going to be on the record.
Why haven't I heard any of them?
So, dude, that's a great question. Here's the reason. They're written, they are even recorded, but they are like rough in terms of quality. So what I've basically done is I've laid out the instruments, I've laid out the vocals, but I've put no effects on the vocals. I haven't done any production work. They're really sloppy, poorly mixed demos. And so they are all like, you can listen to them. They're written. They're just not, I feel like if I show people as they are now, people will be concerned to hear where the process takes them, if that makes sense. It's sort of like what's a good example of this? It's like you're looking at a sketch of something, like right after the artist started, and you like can't even tell where it's going. So yeah, I mean, it's everything that you're gonna hear is there. It's just not presented in a way that to most people would sound good. To me, it's at a point where I know where I'm going to take it, so it sounds good to me because I can tell what I need to do to it to make it right. But if I was to show it to anyone besides me, it would just be a mess. They'd be like, what the frick are you doing? To be fair,
That makes sense.
even once the record's done, there will be some people who hear it because it's highly experimental and go, what the frick are you doing? But it'll be more generally acceptable by that time. But yeah, I wrote this that same night, and it goes back to I was thinking a lot about COVID, about there was just a lot going on at that time. There was the quarantine still, the stay-at-home order. There was the whole, do you wear a mask, do you not wear a mask debate going on. All the stuff regarding COVID. There was, the racial tensions in the country were heating up, and that was weighing heavy on me, seeing stuff happen with that. It was just a turbulent time, let alone, and I've talked about this in other interviews. I don't think we talked about it last week, but I was having issues with sleep paralysis and just sleeping issues in general, which is why I wanted to stay up all night. I didn't want to go to sleep. And so this album, all of the songs are birthed from me processing those things in combination with one another. This song specifically, to me, is sort of a cry for help, if that makes sense. And I think the real, where I really reveal what this song is about is the chorus, where I say, I'm going to say what I need to now. Push me away if it freaks you out. This may sound crazy, but there is no doubt that I need you to need me to need you to stick around. Basically saying, I need you guys to help me get through this really turbulent time in my life. Is kind of what the song's about.
That's really confusing. I get it now. I always wonder what that meant. Like, what does that mean? How does it go? I need you to need me to need you.
Yeah, so
need
it's
me?
it's a really,
To want me?
it's really weird to think. I need you to need me to need you to want me. It's not at all how that
That's
song
exactly
goes,
what it
but it's
sounds
fine.
like.
Yeah,
That
is
is
how it
how it
feels.
sounds like.
That's how it feels, though.
That's the unplugged version. That's the
Yeah.
unplugged version.
Yeah, so the idea of I need you to need me to need you to stick around is I need this person to stick around, but I need them to really want me to need them. Like it's really confusing when you unpack it this way. It's hard to think about with the words, but I want this person to want me to want them, if that makes sense.
It doesn't, but we'll keep going.
Cool. So then the visuals, I guess, is where naturally we take this next. Unless, do you want me to talk about production?
Yeah, let's do that. You like actually wrapped that up a lot faster than I thought you would. So yeah. Let's
My
talk
bad.
about the production. So that was all good. So that was what was going on in your head, when you were writing it. It was
Yeah.
written at the same time as the other two songs. Would you reveal yet, how many songs you have on that album?
So here's the thing. I'm a little nervous to do that because there are 2 songs that are swing songs right now. And what I mean by that, and this happens every record, there's 2 songs I have lyrically that I like the lyrics, but I've yet to find a melody that's satisfying enough for me to release. And so swing songs are songs that I want to release. I would love to figure them out, but I'm struggling to figure them out, and I don't know if I can in time. For example, there was a song on the King Suffering album we didn't release called Cliffhanger. That was a swing song. That was a song I wanted on there, but if I couldn't present it in a satisfying way, it wasn't going to happen. There was a song called Thrill of the Hunt that was supposed to be on It's Still Us. Really wanted to make it happen, but me and Giovanni just couldn't crack it. So there's two songs that I'm just not sure about, so I don't want to say a number and then have there be more or less songs than that number on the record.
That makes sense.
But I can promise it's
basically-
full length and it's more than 10 songs. I can tell you that.
But you can't confirm if it's going to be a certain number. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I don't want to
That's
give a
cool.
specific number, but it's more than 10 songs. I feel like 10-song albums are always kind of letdowns to me. It's like too perfect. It's too precise. I want more. So,
With that being said, so basically, what you're saying is this. Is that what you're saying? I was holding my guitar here for the past 5 minutes, like wanting to do that.
yeah, that's basically it. That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
almost
to fit it in.
exactly.
I was not gonna go put this thing down without
No,
playing
I
that
understand.
riff.
It was really important. It was really important and it needed to be done. I 100% agree. Production wise, this whole Uncaged album is how can I push boundaries as an artist, and how can I push boundaries also in terms of how people embrace music as it is. So we talked about that a little bit on the last one, where I was clipping vocals to distort them. I was just doing weird stuff people don't do. I was made a freaking 8-minute song with ukulele driving a symphony. Like, no one does that. This one was not quite so experimental, but it still was, in the sense where, what if like an alt emo artist did club music? What would come out of that? And what came out of it was really, really funky, really boppy drums driving this really unique electronic synth lead over what in verse 1 is a distorted play on Somewhere I Belong by Linkin Park. And then leading to T-Pain vocals, but creepy kind of. You know what I mean? It's club music, and it could be acceptable to be played in a club, but it would also make people at the club go, what's going on here? It's different, but you can tell the inspiration.
I think it would make people think that if the second part came in, where like the piano comes in and it gets all like dark. But if you
Yeah.
loop that first part like over and over, I could definitely see that being a
For sure.
club vibe. That's what I thought it was when I heard it, and then like halfway through it gets all dark and moody and it goes really crazy.
Yeah.
But I could totally see that.
Yeah, I had multiple drafts of that bridge too. So what had happened with that bridge was I almost worried, am I deviating from the club concept too much? And so the first time I wrote it, it was similar to how it's presented to you now. I did a version where it stayed upbeat a little bit more. And it almost did like an EDM breakdown and build a little bit. But I ended up, that just didn't feel right for what was going on lyrically right there. And so what I landed on was the T-Pain vocals were kind of the one link to the club vibe. I was tried to find a small constant that would make it feel like it wasn't an entirely new thing, that they were still connected. And I was like, the T-Pain vocals, the heavy auto-tune, that'll at least hinge it in something that's really common in that genre I'm messing with, while I take it in a completely new direction. And it was actually Giovanni helped me crack that bridge. I laid down the whole rest of the song up to the bridge, and then I brought it to him, and I was like, look, this is what I'm struggling to crack. Me and him just work together really well. We bounce ideas off each other. We really are just able to get into a really solid flow creatively when we work together. So I was like, help me figure out what I need to do here. And he was like, dude, you're overthinking it. And he found this. It literally is one lane of traffic he added, and it changed the whole song. And it's those swelling strings that sit behind it. And it was perfect because it led it back to the symphony of the floral mask I wear. It reminded me almost of Inside when that piano comes in. I've done that same trick a few times now, and it was perfect. I don't think he even realized how perfect it was. I think he was like, this sounds cool, and I was like, whoa, that like plays off of a theme.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, sometimes when you just like hand it off to somebody and then you're like, "Hey, can you solve this for me?" And they just like literally dummy it down. So not to say it's like it's dumb,
No,
but
I know what you mean.
like they just look at it from an easier perspective, and then they're just like, "Dude, you're overthinking it. Do this." And it's like it could be the simplest like 3-note melody ever, and you're like, "Oh, there it is."
Yeah, I mean, like, I by this point I'd spent hours on Bulletproof Umbrella, right? Like by the time it was put in his hands, I've clocked hours into it. So I'm looking at the song in a really deep way at all of its complexities, trying to break it. When you bring in someone who hasn't spent that time of it, they've heard it literally twice, and then they're able to, at a surface level, oh, this would sound good, hits key. You know what I mean? And it's just like, duh.
Yeah.
Obviously that's what to do, but it's just a different perspective was required. And then the other thing that was cool was it still felt a little empty with just the strings, and so I hopped in the booth and literally just repeated the phrase "Bulletproof Umbrella, be my bulletproof umbrella" over and over.
That's the
and then
best
he
part.
did that sample, and he like flipped it a little bit, did some reverby stuff and some trippy effects, and had it like fade in and out behind those strings. And then the rest of it I'd planned out how it was going to do that little "be my bulletproof umbrella," and then it was going to build up and go back into that driving boom, boom, boom,
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme with Bulletproof Umbrella.
Yeah.
The word trippy.
Yes, because that played right into the visuals that you came up with. Right
Yes, exactly. You
into those visuals.
see, we're getting better at our transitions here.
A little
Third
bit.
episode in.
Third
little bit.
episode. Yeah, we're getting there.
Now we'll talk about the visuals, that side of the production thing. So why don't we start with Daniel had a location, and then he's like, "Yo, let's shoot it this day." I was like, "All right, cool." And if you don't mind, do you want me to tell it, or do you want to tell it?
So I actually have a question for you first before we even go there.
I have an
So
answer.
for the people, I guess the people don't really know our flow. So Christian, tell them about how a music video between us starts from your perspective, kind of how the process goes when we work together on a video.
See, you send me the track, you think, and then you say, "Hey, you want to do a video to this?" And I'm like, 99.99% of the time, I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." When? And then you give me a date, and then we meet up outside of your house, and then we drive somewhere
Yeah.
that looks like a serial killer takes somebody to murder them. And then we
Yes,
film.
that does happen. So I'm talking about, usually what I'll do is I'll send you like it's not even a script. It's like an outline of what I want to happen. You know what I mean by that?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, you went that route. My bad. I went like 0 to 100.
No, you're good. You're good. So what was when I sent you Bulletproof Umbrella, which was, I think, the shortest outline yet, if I remember right, did you have any thoughts when you were reading that, or concerns or anything like that, reading that outline, or were you pretty much just like, frick it, yeah, let's do it?
Kind of the second part. I was a little concerned because
Yeah.
like you had like you think you were doing it's still us, or no, you were doing Evolve. We were working on Evolve, and you were talking about another project, and we were talking about the movie, and so I like almost completely forgot about Bulletproof Umbrella.
Yeah.
So then when you brought it up, I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And I read the script, and I was like, I get where it was going,
Yeah.
but with the location you had in mind, that was going to be like my saving grace right there. Like we can just pick a bunch of cool, a music video is always cool if you have like at least 3 to 4 locations and you just cut back and forth. Like there's, that's
Yeah.
just dope. So that's kind of was my idea for it. But yeah, the way it unfolded is a lot more different than that.
A lot different.
So
than that.
a lot different.
I'll start this story with a preface, and then I'll let you tell it from your perspective, because I think your perspective is probably
do
a
it.
little funnier even than my perspective.
Let's do it.
So what happened for me was that 6 months before Bulletproof Umbrella, was scouting music video locations because there was nothing else to do when the world shut down. So I was driving around places, finding cool spots, and I'd heard about this place called the Secret Sidewalk in Fremont, which in classic Daniel fashion required trespassing. And I was like, all right, well, there's a check mark. That's a good sign. And I went and scoped
This
it
is
out,
true.
and I took some pictures and hung out there, and I was like, this is really cool. I definitely want to use it. And then so I found a way to use it. I scouted it a second time with Daniel Herrera, and we took some pictures there. We hung out. We just made a day out of it. We were just catching up and stuff. I went there a third time alone to make sure I knew where to park for when me and Christian went to shoot it. And then finally, it was the day of shooting, and me and Christian parked the car, and we went on a walk. And Christian, I'll let you take it from here.
First of all, it wasn't a walk. Let me just preface this by saying this was not a walk. This was not a I'm gonna go walk around the block kind of walk. Okay, this was a rucksack hike. That's what this was. I had we had 2 bags of equipment, and that's like me keeping it minimal. 2 bags, and then so we pulled up to a sketchy location, parked our cars in some questionable places.
It was so,
and we started
the spot we parked was A, on a train track, and B, on someone's yard. Just to give a picture of what we're dealing with to the people. We're in front of someone's house, and we're on a train track, and we're like, and I say we. I'm like, yep, Christian, we're here. And then I get him out of the car. We run across a freeway, and then we get on, and we're following a train track.
Yeah, so this is all going to tie in so well. So, like you said, we walk on the train track, and I'm like, hey, like, are you sure? Like, these are dead? And he's like, oh yeah, dude, 100%. These are dead tracks. I'm like, all right, cool. So I didn't even question it. So it was kind of cool because every time we shoot, we usually have like a lot of downtime, like whether it's driving somewhere or like talking about it or whatever. So we talked about movies, we talked about media, we talked about this podcast actually, which is kind of how this whole thing came about.
Yeah.
And we walked, and we walked, and we walked, and we walked, and similar to the Fellowship of the Ring in the Lord of the Rings, we just walked for what seemed like hours, and then after about an hour, okay, Daniel turns to me and he's like, actually, no, the whole way there, he was like, dude, I think this is the wrong way. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, actually, no, I think we're good. I know where we're going. And he played it off so well. So like, all right, cool. He knows where he's going. And then, we're just talking, and I can only imagine like me talking to you, and like in your head, all you hear is a loud, high pitch noise. And you're just like thinking to yourself, is this the right way? Is this the right way? Is this the right way? Because about an hour later, Daniel's like, dude, you're going to hate me. And I'm like, dude, nah.
That is exactly
that's not
what
possible.
Happened. Oh my gosh.
I was like, just lay it on me. So he's like, we went the wrong way. And then I was like, yeah, it's cool. It's whatever. It's not a big deal. Like it was, by the time we got to the location of the shoot, normally we shoot around golden hour, which is like when the sun is about to go down. So you have like an hour-ish, an hour and a half of sunlight. We plan to get there a little earlier so we can scout the location and, figure out where Daniel's going to be and all that stuff. So we didn't have that much light. And I was like, you know what? If anything, we can just shoot it tomorrow. And then Daniel was like, are you sure? Are you serious? Are you sure you can do this?
I didn't want to drag you out. I didn't want to drag you out to another day. It was my big thing because I'd brought you. So I told you we're going to shoot this video. That was a really complex video in the script that required different angles, different like pieces of this trail. And I was like, I've got you committed to be here. And then I was like, I don't want to make him drive out to Livermore and then go even further to get to Fremont like 2 days in a row. So I felt so bad thinking about that possibility.
It's all good. And, worst case scenario, like it was cool because, we always get to hang out, if anything. Like we get to hang out and just talk, which is cool.
Yeah.
But, we figured, hey, we're already out here. Like, we might as well just go back and we could take an album cover shot and we could just check it out.
Yeah.
So this is where his sense of time really came in. Because he was like, we've only been walking for like, 20 minutes, right? And I look at my watch and it's been an hour.
Let me also, total side tangent. The same thing happened when we were shooting Floral Mask. Do you remember this?
I do remember this. You said 5 minutes for like an hour.
Yeah, I tell Christian's drive. Oh, who was driving? I think Christian's driving, and I'm telling him, dude, he's like, how far away is this thing? And I was like, I think we're like 20 minutes away. And then like 45 minutes passes, and he's like, how far away are we? Oh, dude, we're like 5 minutes away. And then 10 minutes. How far did you say we were? Oh, it's got to be 5 minutes ahead. It was like I was so far off with my timing, and we did not finish. We didn't even close to finish Floral Mask the day I thought we were going to. And so you were just like, dude, we'll come back another day. And I was like, are you sure? And you're like, yes, it's no problem. So we made the drive again.
I like your impersonation of me. That's really good.
Dude, it's how you are though. You're so chill about it. And then I'm over here freaking out, feeling all guilty. And you're just like, yeah. and so I drag you out there again, and we shoot with way more time the second day, and it goes fine. But with this one, it was a little different because this walk was only supposed to be a 10-minute walk. We were supposed to have hours to be able to shoot this video. And what ended up happening was that because we hiked for 2 hours, we ended up shooting that video in what, 10 minutes?
Well, yeah. I mean, and part of me, like, I wouldn't have minded shooting it because, like, I knew, or shooting it another day. I kind of didn't want you to because I know that you let your what do you call that beard? It's not a beard. It's like a weird like neck thing going on.
Dude.
Yeah, you had that thing going
strap.
on, and it was like the chin. It was so bad. It looked like something out of like a late 2000s new metal band. It was pretty bad.
Let me tell you, for when I play the
It was
protagonist,
nasty.
when I play the protagonist, I do a lot of things to look gross. I don't use shampoo or I don't put anything in my hair for like probably 2 weeks. I don't brush my teeth for 2 days, and then before the shoot, I swirl Coke in my mouth, just to make sure that the plaque on my teeth is showing and that they're yellow. I stopped doing my skincare stuff so that my acne breaks out, which is the worst part for me. I'm still like recovering.
I was wondering
from the
how you
acne
did
breakout.
that. I was wondering how you did that because like I know you in person and like shooting that video, I was like, did you eat something? But I get it.
Yeah, and then I also the other thing I do, I don't know if everyone even knows this, but dairy is a good way to worsen your acne. And so I drank a lot of chocolate milk leading up to that shoot. Like for 2 months, I drank a big glass of chocolate milk every night.
Dude, you make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Oh no, it was delicious. That was not like a punishment for me. I'm just saying
Dude.
the reaction of intentionally doing so to make acne break out was disgusting, and it worked. But I'm just now like my acne's finally simmering down again after preparing for that shoot.
It was pretty gnarly. I'd say so. Have you heard of Fairlife chocolate milk? Are you familiar with this brand?
I'm very familiar with Fairlife chocolate milk. Very.
Was that what you were drinking?
No, actually. So the problem with Fairlife is that, so for those of you who are watching this and you don't know why Christian brought up Fairlife, I'm a Fairlife connoisseur. I was obsessed with it my freshman year of college, and I have continued drinking it since. The thing about Fairlife is that it's actually ultra filtered milk, which means there's no lactose. It's lactose-free milk. It tastes very good. It's really rich. It's the best chocolate milk I've ever tasted in my life. But if my goal was to cause an acne outbreak, Fairlife wouldn't work because it's ultra filtered. So I had to use normal milk.
Yeah. Not to go into too much detail too, but that would actually probably give you the runs pretty bad because there's a ton of protein in that. I think it's like 30 grams of protein. Yeah, and let me tell you, so like you guys are about to find out something new about me. I do not like milk. Milk is disgusting.
Really?
I
You don't
drink
like milk?
I'm not even like lactose intolerant. It just tastes nasty.
I never knew this about you.
So I drink almond milk. I drink oat milk. I drink soy milk. So there's a new kind of milk I found. It's called pea milk. Not pea like pea, but like pea, the pea in the pod, like PEA.
Whoa,
How
do you milk a pea?
I have no idea. I didn't even know peas had udders.
I don't. Okay, I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend I know about pea milk, but I guarantee that there's no udder on that thing.
But yeah, so I know
Oh my
like so.
gosh.
For me, where I was going with that, for me not liking milk, not drinking milk, just because of the taste of it, I drink Fairlife chocolate milk, even though it's like regular milk for the most part.
Oh, so you can even drink Fairlife. You like Fairlife, but you don't like normal milk.
That is correct. So I know how good
Wow.
Fairlife is. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
so that was the whole backstory behind your acne. Because I was actually wondering about that too. I was like, when I was watching the video back, when I was editing it, I was just like, I don't remember it being that bad.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, it was.
yeah, I knew about the hair thing, I knew about the shower thing, and I knew about the Coke thing and brushing your teeth. But that's
I didn't even
that's a
mention
new
the
one for
shower
me.
thing. I don't
Well, now
shower.
they know.
I don't shower for a little bit either. Not for the sake of smelling gross. Like I know Shia LaBeouf has done stuff where he doesn't shower for the sake of just smelling gross and like getting in character. That's not what. For me, it's about I want to look dirty. I want my skin to look uncared for, unclean. I want, and even with the acne thing, it really makes it stand out if like for 3 or 4 days you don't shower either. It's just the sweat builds up, it causes a whole thing. And so I really wanted to look absolutely filthy. And I think I accomplished it. And especially with Bulletproof Umbrella, the pressure was on because I'd set the bar already at Floral Mask pretty high.
Yep.
And
Yep,
there's supposed
you
to
did.
be like in the story, like a month and a half-ish between these two events. So I needed to look even worse. And I think I accomplished that.
Yeah, it looks like you've been crawling in a desert forever. So I would say you accomplished that. But yeah, going back to that, that's why I wanted to shoot it that day, but I felt bad because I know you wanted to shave and stuff, and I can only imagine that. Because the day after we shot it, you posted something about on Instagram story, and like you looked all shaved, and you look like a different person.
I look like a baby. It looked like I lost like 15 years.
Yeah, dude, it looks like Baby Daniel talking about a superhero land.
Oh my gosh, it really did though, for real. Wait, did we talk about the train yet?
No, that was at the very, very end of the day.
Was
Almost
it?
at the end of the day.
No.
Yeah.
No, that was on our way to the actual site, right?
I think you may be correct.
Yeah, so here's what happened. So remember earlier that I'd promised Christian, like, oh, these are dead tracks. Like, no, these train tracks are not in use. I've been over here several times. There are no trains on these tracks, like, period. So we're walking back from, keep in mind, the wrong location, which means what I should have pieced together that I didn't piece together was that if we're at the wrong location, we're at the wrong train tracks, which means these train tracks perhaps are in use because I don't know that they're dead tracks. And so we're walking, and I kid you not, I hear buzzing coming from the rails. And I go, Christian, stop. Do you hear that? And he goes, what? And I was like, are the rails buzzing? And then we're both just kind of I was like, we need to get off the road. And we like walked down the hill so that the train could pass. And sure enough, there was a train on the tracks that if it had come, oh man, 20 minutes earlier.
It was quiet, dude.
It was a really quiet train. If it had come 30 minutes earlier, we walked through a very long tunnel that did not have room.
And I said that
for a train.
I
and
asked
people.
you the whole time. We were walking down that tunnel. I was like, "Are you sure that these are dead?" And you said, "Yeah, dude, they're dead. Trust me." And all of a sudden, like, I have really bad ears. I'm surprised your ears aren't as bad as mine. And it was just from playing music.
Man,
So I mean, I kind of
either.
yeah. So Daniel's like, "Do you hear that?" I was like, "No, I don't hear anything." And then he said, "We should get off the tracks." So he got off. And sure enough, I turned around and I see a big yellow light come around the corner. Then there's a train that just whirls by us.
Yeah. So, I will be honest. The only reason I heard it was I was listening for it because I did not trust myself at all anymore after realizing we were at the wrong location. I was like, there's a small chance that these tracks aren't dead. I'm not going to tell Christian that. No one wants to hear that.
And you didn't tell me? This wouldn't be something you would tell somebody?
Well, it's only if it matters. I told you when it was important, right? I told you when it was important. So I was like, I'll just keep an eye on it. Make sure, you just never know. You just want to be sure.
You definitely never know.
And I'm glad I was keeping my eyes and ears open,
That would have been a way to go for sure. That was was scary.
The music and videos would have gotten a lot more views. Just kidding.
That's true.
So what happened was,
I feel like every time we shoot a video, I think we come very close to death. Every video.
I think, holy crap, Christian. Did I get injured during the shooting of that video at all?
I don't think so.
That might be the first video I've ever done where I didn't get injured.
It was fast. It was for sure the fastest one we've ever done.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even think about that until I started saying it. I get some sort of injury on every freaking video I do. I didn't even process that it didn't happen that time. That's crazy. Huh.
that gives us something more to talk about when we talk about the other videos.
Yes, it does. We could talk about the injuries sustained. But so after the train, the train happened on our way back to the cars. We got to the cars, and there was just enough light where basically we decided we're going to scope out the location for the video, and we're going to shoot basically an album cover and some test footage to come back another day, was like what we had decided. I bring Christian to the right location. We park our cars. And the walk feels so fast compared to the other one we did. Like so fast.
I wonder why.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why, but it really did.
Dude, and it was like I don't know how you find these places. Like we had to like walk across a field, go not under a fence. I mean, the fence was kind of already like not there to begin with.
Yeah.
But you could tell there was a fence there. So technically we walked through the fence. And then we walked through the field, and then we like climbed, we jumped over a huge puddle.
Yeah.
There was a set of stairs. We climbed the short set of stairs, and there's like a hidden rope to get on top of this ledge.
Yeah.
And then you keep walking, and there's a location.
Yep. And to me, that's all natural. But to most people, that's probably where the frick were you?
Yeah, it's like you found a map somewhere, and like somebody intricately put these details in there. Because I was like, how did you even know that there was a rope there? And it was like the weirdest. It was muddy, it was dirty, and there was like a jacket on the floor, which is a little sketchy. And
yeah, that's true. There was.
At one point, I think we heard somebody, but then there was nobody there, so it was really creepy.
Also true. They were most likely inside the secret sidewalk because there are little access points. A lot of people like to go inside of it. Which, by the way, the secret sidewalk. So a little bit of history about the secret sidewalk. It's actually a giant dam. But it's not a dam for water. It's a dam for in case of a landslide. So the secret sidewalk is this giant concrete wall that's along the side of a hill. And what its purpose is to catch a landslide, if a landslide were to happen, to avoid getting onto the train tracks and avoid spilling onto the freeway. And so because it's a giant concrete wall, there's also little access points where you can go inside of the concrete wall. I'm assuming for maintenance purposes is why it's there, or for irrigation or for something. I don't know, but...
We could definitely save that for another video too. Now that we could save that other location because there was like
yes,
there was a lot of stuff there. We didn't even see all of it. We just like hit the first point. Like
yeah, I mean,
one of
the whole video was shot
at.
in like a 40-yard stretch of the sidewalk when that thing goes for like 2 miles. So
yeah, it was just the very beginning, which leads us to, we climbed up there and there was this wall that was like, I don't know, 6'6". I don't know how tall 6 feet is. I'm pretty short. Is this 6 feet? You're 6 foot tall.
I'm 6 feet.
Okay, it was taller than 6 feet then. But anyway, it's this huge wall. And then we climb on top of it. We take a look out into the vastness that is this empty field that looks like somebody might have been murdered. Then I'm like, you know what? I think we have like 20 minutes. If you want to try to, I didn't even say try. I was like, yeah, we can totally shoot this thing, man. We got like 20 minutes. And then Daniel was
let me preface this with Christian's about to tell you something he's only told me since filming the video, but I was not sure about it at all. I was like, there's no way we get this video in, I think you said 15 minutes. I think you said we have 15 minutes. And I was like, there's no way we get everything in 15 minutes. This is like probably the most difficult acting I've had to do the whole series in this video. I was like, there's no chance. And I tell Christian, like, are you sure we can get this looking good? And Christian out loud to me is like, oh yeah, dude, no problem. Christian, what were you thinking in your head during this time that you did not communicate to me?
I'll go back to that reference of SpongeBob running around in his mind, looking through filing cabinets because he forgot his name. And then on the outside, I was just like, yeah, dude, totally, man. We got this. We got nothing to worry about.
Little did we know we were both very not sure about trying to get the video in time. And so literally that whole video is one take. The majority of it, right? The whole first half was the one take.
Yeah, because right after I told you that, I was like, yeah, dude, let's just get into it. Let's just, get a few, like 2 performances, and then worst case scenario, we just pull B-roll from the old videos, or we just make B-roll with you and the mask on, and then we can cover up, any like parts where I like stumble or like I missed a focus or whatever. So so Daniel lays on the floor, and then I film his hand and the mask. And then I film his head, and then Daniel says, "Stand over me and point the camera like downwards." So I proceeded to do so. Anyone that may have been walking by, they might have been a little bit weirded out by what was going on.
Oh gosh.
And
We didn't see anyone,
you
luckily.
guys,
Right? We didn't see a single person.
we don't. I mean, we didn't see anyone, but like that's not to say nobody saw us.
That's true. That's fair.
And so if you guys watched the video, that's that very first, like, probably the third or fourth scene where Daniel's like laying on the floor and his eyes shoot open and they're purple. That was that scene.
Yeah.
And we just shot those quick 4 clips, and then I'll talk about this later, but there was some technical issue that I had to figure out. And then I hit record late, so we hooked the Bluetooth speaker that I have because I thought it'd be a good investment to have one. We hooked that up to Daniel's phone, or I'm sorry, we try to hook it up to Daniel's phone.
Yeah.
But Daniel has no service, so we were kind of SOL there. But luckily, I had the song on my phone, so we played it on my phone, and I play the song, and then we have like 5 seconds to like get ourselves ready, so I play it, and I'm like, all right, go. And this is what amazes me. You just like, I'm so used to seeing you in character now that it didn't freak me out like at all. Like you just did it. You just snapped your finger. You just, you were that character. Like every other time you do it, I'm like, this is weird. I'm behind the camera and I'm just like, this is freaking weird.
I still remember the first time we spent more than like 10 minutes together was shooting Inside. And I remember after Inside, we were talking about, it was like the day after, and I just said like, hey, thanks again so much for shooting it. Or something like that. And your response was something along like, not gonna lie, it was kind of creepy how fast you slipped into character. And I was like, I didn't even warn him about how creepy I was gonna get, like at all. Like you knew a little bit, but I realized I did not like properly prepare you for what was about to go down when we shot Inside.
Not at all. Not at all. But you know what? Now it's kind of funny. Not funny, but I mean, I'm kind of used to it now. That's like where I was going with it. I didn't even like question it. Maybe it was because like the stress of like trying to film or shoot everything like that fast. But you just, so I said, let's go. Let's film this thing. Put the song on. And then I'm like, all right, go. And then Daniel starts rapping and going. And little did I know about 20 seconds in, I actually this time it actually did happen. I did not hit record. So I swear, dude, for like the first 20 seconds when I said, all right, we're going, I did not hit record. So the first time you see Daniel's face, like saying the words, that was actually like the second I hit record.
Oh my gosh, dude, I kid you not. I almost asked you to include more of the walk up. And I was like, I guess it's fine that he didn't include that. Like, I would have liked for it to be included, but it works. And I didn't realize it was because you didn't record the walk-up. That is so funny. I had no idea.
Yeah, but we made it work. That's
totally made it work.
We made it work. Yeah, that's how the other scene kind of ties it in, where you're looking around everywhere like you don't know where you are, then you just start rapping.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we hit record. We start going. About, like, I think at some point there, I tripped a little bit, and I kind of like the camera shook. But
near the end,
we hit
the end of the song.
That near the end too, but like in the very beginning, like when you say the second line, I tripped. But I covered that up.
I thought that was an artistic choice. I had no idea you tripped there.
No, I fell, dude.
Oh my god!
I fell too. But dude, that was so sketchy. Like we were on this, like it was probably like 4 feet wide. So if I would have fell. And it kind of curves a little bit, so it's not like a walk straight back. And Daniel was like in character, so I don't think he would have noticed if I would have took a step the wrong way.
I was watching you.
Oh, you were? Okay.
To make sure, yeah.
Yeah, but one step the wrong way, and that would have been.
I was worried about you. I didn't want to tell you. There's so much we don't communicate in the moment. I'm now realizing that's maybe not healthy to not communicate, but I did not communicate to you, but I was definitely worried about that exact thing, and so I was watching you to make sure.
Yeah, and you know how I am. Like once I start recording, like all I see is like what's in front of the camera and what's coming out like of the screen. I wouldn't even like if you would have told me that I 100% would have like kept looking back and stopping.
Yeah. So it worked out. You didn't fall off and break anything, and I was able to stay in character and get done what we needed to get done. It was crazy though. I planned on doing the way I viewed that going down though. That whole scene where I'm trying not to spoil what's actually happening there, but where it seems, or my character keeps like changing faces a lot, right? During that scene, I wanted to film it like once or twice and then watch the footage to see it and then like build off of that and like make sure I could get it even better. Like that was, I viewed it going as like, all right, film me. I want to see it. I want to see where like the errors are, and then I want to fix it and tweak it. Like I wanted to get really methodical about it, right? I had one take to do the switching. That's the only take there is of the face switching is the one you see. I did not get a second chance because, you know, Kirsten had talked about we're going to get there and we're going to do 2 takes. By the time we finished the first take, we didn't have time for a second take. He's like, we need to get the second half because I tripped, and that's it. That's all we can do. And so I just had to accept, stressful. And I didn't really get to see it. I think he showed me like a piece of it once, and like, this is what it looks like. We just had to go and get it again. And I was so terrified. I remember telling Christian, like, dude, just so you know, like, I trust you. You seem confident. I now know he wasn't. I was like, you seem confident you can make this work. Like, but this is totally going to fall on your editing ability on how you execute this thing. Like, it's totally going to fall on you to make sure this thing conveys right. I was like, I did what I could. I thought we'd have a lot more footage. Like, you're going to have to find some weird stuff to do editing-wise to convey what's going on here. And Christian, without talking about what went on there in terms of the storyline and not spoiling that, tell us about those edits that start happening about halfway through the song.
So let's start a little bit further back. So I'm going to take you back. Remember how I told you that number 1, I hit record late?
Yeah.
So we lost a little bit of that performance. But the second technical issue that happened was, I don't know what happened. You know that little fuzzy mic I have?
Yeah.
The little short one I put in. Yeah. So I don't know what was happening with that one, but I wasn't monitoring audio. So I would just like focus on the visual. So for some reason, I plug the footage in on my computer. I look at it, and all I hear is like a bunch of static the entire time.
No.
Like you can't hear the wind, you can't hear your gasp, you can't hear your footsteps, anything. So, fun fact, that gasp in the beginning is not you.
I knew it.
And those footsteps aren't you. I thought you wouldn't have caught it.
I knew the gasp wasn't. I didn't know any of the other sound wasn't actually there. I thought everything else was there. The gasp, I could tell. Did you take that from a different clip of me or something?
No,
is that a completely
really good idea?
Is that a different person?
Think about that. It's a different person.
No way. You found one that sounds like me too. I thought you must have taken it from an unused floral mask take or something, because I still thought it sounded like me. But I remembered that I this is so weird. I remembered how I gasped in the scene, and I was like, that's not the gasp I did. But I was like, he probably has a reason for that, so I just trusted it, and it didn't bother me or anything. I just noticed it. So that's hecka funny that I got to confirm that.
That is cool. I didn't even know that you knew that, or that you were even onto that. I hit it so well because, like, to me, sometimes you do stuff in editing and in post when you're like, that looks so fake, because you know what was actually there.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like I had to tweak the pitch and the way it sounded to make it sound a little not so like deep, because the original one, I just found some stock.
Gotcha.
It's really weird. So like, I went on this website where I get like sound effects and like, you know, stuff like that I pay for. And it's royalty free after you pay for it. So I went to go look for human gasps, and the results that came up were really weird. The name of that file was called like human dying gasp.
Oh.
Yeah. So for some reason, after I use that file, usually like I transfer it to like whatever folder I'm operating off of. So if it's floral mask, I put it in that folder.
Yeah.
But the name of the folder was like human man gasp dying. And so I transferred it to that folder, and then I deleted it off my computer. But the problem was that it wouldn't delete off my computer. So I still have human man gasp dying on my computer.
I mean, just in case,
it's a little
right?
Weird.
You never know.
Yeah. So yeah, all that stuff is not actually there. Like the wind, the footsteps, I had to time with when you were stepping, and I had to pitch them a little bit to not sound, because it sounded like you were walking on leaves from the footsteps I took. So I had to make it sound like there was concrete. So I had to do some stuff. Yeah. So there's a little bit of sound design in there for you.
I had no idea about the other two. The gas was the only one I had an idea about. The other two, I genuinely had no idea. Well done. That's impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, that was all, now you know. The wind isn't real. Gasp isn't real. Footsteps aren't real. So that left me, with a nice base of like, okay, I guess nobody can really tell that stuff isn't actually there. The next challenge came with the fact that I had like not even 2 full performances. I had half of one, And then I had like 3/4 of one because I didn't record at one point. But some of the first one I couldn't use because I tripped. And my saving grace was going to be the coloring of it, because that's just what I like to do, to create that vibe. And I sent you like 3 different options. There was like a neutral one that kind of looked like a floral mask. And then there was like a super dark, grungy orange one, which is like the one we used.
Yeah.
And then there was a super blue one.
Yeah, that one was almost like Nolan style cinematic.
That's actually where I pulled it from.
Did you
I
actually?
pulled it from. I looked at, well, I knew you like Nolan, and you know, we both like Christopher Nolan. So I looked at Dark Knight reference photos, and I just, you know, I look at them side by side and I try to like create the same balance in the colors and stuff. So that was gonna be my saving grace. But even if it was just a performance video, like it was too much. There was too much going on in the song for it to be just like performance, like run it.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, you know, just very much performance based. So this is where I had to dive deep into editing and finding some stuff that I didn't know existed and breaking a lot of rules. So a lot of the stuff where like Daniel, I thought it fit where like you would talk and like your other self would like try to escape itself. That's kind of where like the weird like glitch happening, when like it looks like you're separating from yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play the whole thing like this. But still, it wasn't enough. So that's where the weird, like, you know, it was a lot of just throwing stuff in there. And I was like, this looks really weird. And I'm just going to crank it up as high as I possibly can. And that's what created a lot of the effects that you guys now see in Floral Mask. And the original idea was going to be that, and I've tested it out, Daniel's eyes were supposed to be purple the entire video.
Yeah.
But because it was too dark, I couldn't create like it's called like a tracker to track onto every single step you take to make your eyes purple. It looked fake because your eyes were like covered by shadow.
Yeah.
So we had to just kind of like, I kind of like the fact that like you have to pay attention to like every single second, because if you blink, you miss the purple eyes.
Yeah, true. It's very, very brief.
It took a lot of deep diving into editing, and honestly, a lot of it was like, it was really weird, and I would just crank the hell out of an effect and like tweak it in ways it's not supposed to be tweaked. And then I like sat on it for a day before I showed you anything. And I was like, I'm kind of not feeling that. So it took me what I knew about editing, what people told me about editing, what I've learned, to like throw that out the window and just kind of like, this works, this looks good. It doesn't necessarily follow the rules, but it works.
Yeah.
And that's how that video came about.
I love that. I love you, dude. You don't even know. That's like, I mean, I guess you do know because you're the only person who knows. That's so much of what the theme of the record is about. You know, part of the Uncaged metaphor. I've talked about how I write albums in what I called stacked metaphors, which means that there's layers, and you can track a layer of theme across. You know, for I've talked about it a little bit. Uncaged has more layers than I can even count anymore. But there's a political layer, there's a faith layer, there's a personal story layer, there's a mental health layer, and then there's a music industry layer. And the music industry layer of Uncaged is that you're watching me break the mold of the industry in every way I can, you know, kind of like we talked about earlier in this podcast. So I love that you did the same thing from a visual standpoint, that there were rules to be followed that you were like, nah, frick it, and you broke them and gave a really cool result as a part of that on a record that partially deals with breaking the rules artistically. I think that's super cool.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the whole Uncaged Creativity podcast comes from, because a lot of it was like, you know, putting art in a box and what it should be. And that's kind of what drove me to like make it not what it should be. Like there is, the video isn't like clean. There's a lot of weird stuff in there, but you know, there's a time and a place to play by the rules, but like, you know, sometimes you just feel the need to break them. It's important to learn the basics, but there are certainly times when, you know, you break the rules and then stuff like this happens. I don't think that if you would have told me before we filmed this video, hey, Christian, I want you to do this effect, I want you to do this effect, and I want you to do that effect, and I'm thinking we could do this effect, there was no way I could probably do that. I mean, I could eventually find it out, but it would give me a lot more anxiety for sure.
Yeah.
Like going into the shoot thinking, how am I going to do this? But regardless, you know, it turned into what it is, and I was nervous as hell when I got home because I plugged in that footage and I was like, we have 2 takes, and that's all we got.
It's crazy how it all came out. I was so nervous to see what you were gonna come up with that video, and I was so happy. Happy's not even the right word. I don't know the right word. It exceeded expectations that I should have had killed, as everyone knows, but it exceeded the expectations that I had, the way that you communicated, the things that so many times I wish I could just say it, but I know it's better if I don't. The things that are going on in that video, you executed and communicated so effectively, and you did it like kind of spontaneously. You know what I mean? I think it's a testament to your talent, man, that you're able to take a really weird concept, take some really weird editing, and you're able to make it so that anyone who knows what's going on can tell. And that people who don't know, they can start to guess, and it'll make sense once they know and they look back at it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, and that's what we do. It was really cool to I sent it to you, and I was like 50-50. I was like, he's either going to love this thing or he's going to be like, we need to shoot some more B-roll. But it was really cool to hear that you loved it. And the only part that you had me kind of revise was just put in some footage from, or more footage, I should say, from the previous videos to kind of tie it all together. And it was cool to be in the chat and see I actually texted Leah, the UFN's manager, that hey, it's really cool to see everybody was in that chat when the video dropped.
Yeah. And
that's it literally warmed my heart. And I'm not one to normally talk like that, but it was cool to see all the normal people that are usually on your live stream and commenting on videos, and see UFN on there, all their different accounts on there, their manager, and see so many people that love and support what you do on there. I just normally in things like that, I like to sit back and just see what people are saying. So it was really cool to see everybody there supporting it, and it seemed like you guys really liked it.
Yeah, I will say that because of how trippy, I mean, for multiple reasons, the song itself, I feel like these words leave my mouth so often, and I feel like if I use them too often, they'll start to lose their meaning, but I think it's true every time I've said it. I'd never done a song like this. I'd never done the club thing. And so there was this first of all, are people going to take me doing club music seriously? B, is this song going to resonate because it's a really out there song? And then 3, this video is the 3rd part in a series they still don't really know what's going on in at all. It's a super bizarre video, and we took some risks with, you took some risks editing, I took some risks with the character and the way I displayed the protagonist in it, and it was just this could totally, people could watch this and just kind of be like, yeah, this is too out there. I'm done. And I won't lie, I was a little nervous. I knew it was what I wanted. So when I talk about you took some risks editing, that's not a bash on you. That's me saying I loved it. It was exactly what I was looking for. But you never know when you do something that's risky like that, you never know how the audience it's meant for is going to enjoy it. And so I was kind of just nervous about this. It could be too far for some people. Even my mental could be too far for other people where they just aren't interested. And no, I think it really paid off. I had a few people who normally don't even listen to my music, people I know in real life, text me, and they're like, dude, that's my favorite song of yours. I thought the video was killer.
Nice.
Stuff like that. And that was just rewarding. It was I took some risks. I did something different, and it paid off. Very tangibly, people were about it. And that's just so satisfying. And man, I love doing the YouTube premiere thing because it's so fun seeing what people think in real time, and it's so fun, and it just means a lot knowing that I can get people to that. Also, it's just kind of like you mentioned, it's just a fun experience for sure.
Well said. I couldn't agree more. It's like you said, we both took some risks, and it turned out to be okay, I'm going to go out and say this. I would say Floral Mask is still has the highest bar in terms of
yeah, I agree.
What I've created, but that one just took a whole different route. There's effects in there that look like it's a kaleidoscope. There's effects in there where it looks like the world is being warped, and it really paid off, and I'm glad you released this song. Cuz also when I heard it, it was so different. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, oh, cool, it's a club vibe. Then it kind of switches, and we kind of went over that earlier.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's as well received as it is. And with the album cover, we didn't even end up taking a picture.
No,
like
we
when we
forgot.
were there, we didn't even end up
Totally
taking a picture for the
forgot.
album cover. We were just like so about taking the 2 takes, and then on the walk back, Daniel was like, "Did we get an album cover?" And I was like, "No," but I'll just go ahead and pull a still from the video.
And once again, with confidence, you said no, but it's fine. I'll just grab you. Like Christian, like the way he's displaying it right now is like, no, we didn't. I'll figure something out. What I heard and how he presented it was, oh, dude, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. We did not, but we can. It's really easy to just screenshot something from the video and edit it and make it look good. And that's what I heard. And so Christian again has another task to do in finding a good screenshot and making it look like we intentionally shot a picture. And he once again kills it and gives me what is one of the coolest pictures of me I've ever seen. It's so sick.
Hell yeah.
So sick.
I appreciate that. There was like 3 different versions. There was that one that you used. And I think I made you like 3 versions. I made you one where like you weren't like warped, like pulling away from each other, and then a purple one.
Yeah.
And then later on, I uploaded some more that were like they had duct tape and stuff. But the one you chose was like the perfect fit.
Yeah, I think so too. And I used all of them one way or another. I know when I announced it, I showed the purple one. And if you look at all my socials right now are the picture, the really dark one you sent after the fact. All my socials pictures, I don't know if you've even noticed that, are that picture now. It's just my Twitter. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look, but I changed some of my profile pictures to the new one too. You're just so freaking talented, man. I don't know how you can to work with me in any capacity. It requires some, what's the word? You got to be on your toes. So much of what I do happens spontaneously, or it's not intentional, and or I just change direction at the last minute. And there's not many people who can follow me.
Or after an hour.
Or after. And there's not many people who could follow me and just roll with it like that. And I think it's a testament to your talent that you're one of those people who can just jump in, and whether you expect that to happen or not, you're ready for it and you make it work. You're just a super talented guy, man.
Well, thank you, man. Likewise to you. Like I said, the acting is like impeccable. A lot of people that I've showed it to previously, they were like impressed with the ability to act and like your execution on the character. It was just it's realistic. You think the guy is crazy, and it just it's so awesome to see you like just flip a switch and do it. I'm excited to see what else we're gonna produce, because this one for sure was like a journey, and there's still like more than 4 more videos that we could talk about. But regardless, the feeling is mutual. You're one talented individual. You can sing, you can act, you can dance sometimes.
I wouldn't say I can dance. I would not say I can dance.
One thing I will say though is you are not very good at ordering in and out. So yeah, with that being said, guys, that's going to tie us to the end of the podcast right here. Thank you guys so much for listening. Any last words, Daniel?
Frick you. Just kidding. Thank you all for watching.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll catch you on the flippity flip.